screen, and here we are.
Yeah.
This is
And the one thing,
how the system looks like. Now,
Francisco, Francisco, I just want to add one more thing. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. Is that I know a lot of you guys have different softwares out there. So, right, and we know this isn't the only software out there. Ryan and I get that question constantly. How is it different? What we're showing you today, and this is only, I don't know, I want to say 10% of what ReFax does. The other programs don't do this, and it's actually, I don't know, I guess the easiest way is gotten our business even growing faster to selling to super hosts at Airbnb. So, so I know you guys are going to put in the chat, how does this compare to this one? How does it compare to that one? Ryan and I have looked at pretty much everything. This is the one that we're used for everything for our business here in Florida.
Hey guys, I can tell you, PropStream, REI Pro, all of those. I have logins to those. I've been in those programs many a times, and they're not bad programs. They just don't do everything that ReFax does. There's no reason to go and piece your business together in multiple places. You come to ReFax, you have everything that you need.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. I appreciate it because it's true. So thank you very much. Hi, guys. We in ReFax, we always like to say that we're here to make you guys money, and we actually find another way to make you more wealthy. So this is what the presentation is about today. Usually what we tell you in ReFax, we find you leads that eventually they're going to make you money. But in this case, in the BNB case, what we're trying to do here is actually tell you where the money is. Tell you what those areas where you can actually make money or make additional money, and more specifically, passive income. That's what we're looking to do for you, generate passive income. The other thing that you can actually do if you're not the kind of guy of buying and holding properties is, okay, the moment that you're going to actually sell the property, you can use the information that you can find here as leverage to sell that property. Meaning, okay, the regular rental for this property will be, let's say, $3,000. But if you put it in Airbnb, you will get, more likely can be $5,000. Okay, so you have that additional leverage in order to resell that property that you already got. So that's one of the things that we also want to talk about today. But one of the things that I'm going to start with the basics. I'm going to start with the basics of this. I'm sorry, guys, I need to close the door. Just give me a moment. Sorry about that. Forgot to close the door. Okay. Now let's talk about basics. When I say basics, one of the things that you're always going to be looking at when you are in Airbnb or short-term rentals is occupancy. Remember, this works basically like a hotel. So you need to know when and where those places are, or which places have the highest level of occupancy. And you can see, and what I'm showing you right now is the actual occupancy in the United States in the last 12 months. Remember, May, and this is something that we're going to talk about it in, a little bit later on, but it's very interesting. The level of occupancy that were affected last year was up to May. As you can see, you have a low level of occupancy. That's not normal for the month of May, but this is pandemic May. Okay, see what happened after pandemic May. June, 74%, July, 78%, August, 78%. So the Airbnb industry in the US was not affected by the pandemic in a way that most people thought. So I'm going to go into specifics on why that happened. Okay, it's actually very interesting to me because, you know, all these people that have regular renters, they were struggling because they were not paying that, you know, remember what the government did? They actually did the, you cannot take renters out of their house. Well, the people that had the Airbnb, they were, you know, probably taking more risk, but really they paid off for them because, as you can see, the occupancies were really high through all the year. As you can, one of the things that we're going to see is where those occupancies are higher in the United States. In this case, it's already by occupancy, order by occupancy here, and it's showing Oregon 83%, Delaware 81%. So you can see the progression here of where are the highest occupancy and where is the lowest in the United States. And if you put it in the terms of the map, the dark green ones are going to be the state that has the highest occupancy, as you can see. You can also see what are the states that have the highest listings. We can order by listings here and see, okay, what are the states that are the highest listing? Florida is the #1 state in listings. You see, the occupancy is not as great as other states. Is that bad? We're gonna check on that. So let's go to Florida. And this is the first questions that they're gonna put out over the, in there for you. You can see the occupancy rate here in March was bananas, 81% throughout the state. So 81% occupancy.
So Francisco, I'm going to ask the question while you're still kind of talking about why do you think, put it in the chat, why do you think it was so busy in Florida? Oh, Atuna, yep. She's got it. That's what I saw too. Why else do you think it'd be busy here? It's open, Kenton's saying, open state and spring break. Absolutely.
It was bananas.
Yep.
And this month is not so bad either, because we are at 15 when we're 70% occupancy. It's only the 15. So we're going to be about the same type of occupancy. But if we are clear about this, one of the numbers that you are looking instead of occupancy is not only occupancy, we're looking for revenue. And the revenue is based on the occupancy and the combination of the occupancy on how much you charge for the venue or for the place. And as you can see, revenue, the revenue graph is very close to the occupancy graph. As you can see, similar. But one of the things that you can see last month, it was almost $5,000 per property in Airbnb through all the state of Florida, which is absolutely great. As you can see, 5,075, and you can see here this month is already in 4,000, and there's 15 days to go. So there is chance to grow here. Well, remember, we have occupancy, we have revenue. But what I consider the most important part in this system is neither occupancy or revenue, is what we call additional revenue. I'm going to explain you really quick what additional revenue is. Let's say the revenue of a regular rental is $2,500. Well, last month, the average revenue in a property in Florida was $5,075. So how much additional revenue you have compared to 2,500? You have almost 100 or a little bit more than 100% revenue. So this number of additional revenue is showing right here in this corner. This green number that you see, it says 119% additional revenue. And what is showing is that the average property in Florida is $1,630 almost in average. And the revenue that you can create in Airbnb is $3,556, which give us an additional revenue of 119%. Now, why do we care about additional revenue? That's our bottom line. If you want to make money, you don't care about neither occupancy or revenue. You care about how much additional money are you going to make instead of having a regular rental or a regular tenant in that property. Okay, that's what you care. Instead of have a regular person renting the property month to month, how much additional money am I going to make if I put an Airbnb? That's the real thing that you need to check. Now, in order to check that, we have this information here. I'm going to ask you real quick to the ones that are out there. There are 68 or 69 counties, no, 67 counties in Florida, if I'm not mistaken. Which one do you think is the highest additional revenue county in the whole state? And you can go bananas if you want. You can go in the chat and ask that question. That's really, really, really important to know, because where do you want to be? You want to be where you want to make more money. And we have a tab here that we call places. In that places tab is where the system is going to tell you where is the highest revenue or additional revenue you can get. One of the things that you can see here, Osceola County, which is this neighbor, is where the most amount of listing in Florida are. See, the occupancy here has been 47%. Has been low, not that high. The average daily rate, which is what you charge for the property, is $188, and that gives you a revenue of $2,687 and an additional revenue of 71%. What does that mean? You are making 71% more than you will make in a regular rental. Is that the place that we're talking about? Not necessarily. We're talking about where is the highest additional revenue. Where is the more money here? So let's just search for that. You say Baker County. This is a really small county. There is only 4 listings there, so we're not gonna take that into consideration. Lafayette, 18, very small county. Let's don't take that either. When we go to Escambia County, you see this is the closest county to our neighbor state. It's right here. Escambia, 3,031 listings. Okay, so they have a decent amount of listings. See the additional revenue here, 364%. what is that we're looking for here? We're looking for low property values, low rental values, high income in Airbnb. The median income in that area for an Airbnb is $5,061. See, the next one is Ocalosa, which is also in the Panhandle. So you can see every single one of these counties that are in the Panhandle are high revenue properties. Why is that? Basically, they're very close to the ocean, and all the states that are north, like Georgia, South Carolina, they all go to the beach. Where? They go to the beach in the Panhandle. And what does the Panhandle have? Low property values. And low property values mean low rentals. But what is moving us in here is how much money you can get in Airbnb. In this case, if we go here, we can see rentals are going to be low and Airbnbs are going to be high. See, regular rentals $1,091. Airbnb's $5,000. But here is the other thing. Check out the revenue. There are months that are totally and completely dead. December, January, you're making money here, even though you're making money here. But these are the months that are the best. June, July, August, March, and April. So some people say or have the misunderstanding that when you do this business, there are months that you're likely going to lose money. But those months are going to be highly compensated for the months that actually you're making money. And in the matter of fact, there are areas that you're going to make money 2 months a year. But those 2 months, you're going to make all the money you didn't make in any of the other months. That, you know, that go to lends to a very specific areas. But in this case, in this Escambia County, you can see that you're going to be making money all over the year. So the question is, or the answer is, the Panhandle are the counties that has the highest additional revenue in the whole state of Florida. But what does that mean? Exactly. Should I pack and move all my business to the Panhandle? Well, you know, that's something you can do, but I'll tell you, one of the virtues of this system, or what this system has, is you can find high revenue producing properties anywhere in any county. And that's exactly what we're going to teach you next. If we're going to go for, we're going to go back to the whole state of Florida. And we're going to analyze data in Broward. We're going to start with Broward. Broward right now, we have a 98% additional revenue in the whole county. Now, I'm going to go in places again, and I'm going to find which are the cities that have the highest additional revenue. Lighthouse Point. You know, it's many of you might know Lighthouse Point. That's a really high-end houses. You might not be able to either find a house there to buy or rent, which is one of the things that we need to talk about. But as you can see, you see Oakland Park, 153% additional revenue. Wilton Manors, 130% additional revenue. Those are the areas that more likely you need to look first if you are going to actually have an Airbnb property. Why? Because you're making a lot of money in those areas. But let's talk about areas that are not that hot. Let's talk about cities area here. It says 61% additional revenue. Pembroke Pines, Florida, which is the city that I live. You have 250 listings in this city. It's mostly a residential area. But remember, the additional revenue in this area is not that great. It's 61%. Still pretty decent, but it's not that great. But here is the thing. We have a tab for you that we call best rentals. And the best rental is going to tell you which is the best type of property that you can have in any given area. So when I'm going to click on best rentals, and you're going to be seeing that studios, apartments are really good, 121%. Big houses are really good. 3-bedroom houses are really good. So this is the kind of property that I will get if I want to have an Airbnb that specific area. So you need to check which is the type of property, not only which is the highest performing areas in revenue. You need to check also which type of property. You need to see which type of properties. You can be a house, it can be an apartment. Okay, you can go in a bigger area. You can go to Broward County, and in Broward County, I want to know what is the best rental in the area. I'm going to go back here and see. Okay. For 4-bedroom apartments are performing great. That's the other part. Mobile homes is in the mix. There are areas that are great for mobile homes. There are areas that are not. But big houses are also in the mix. 3-bedroom houses, 2-bedroom houses. So there are good numbers that you can see here in the general way, but remember, many times you need specifics. You need, okay, how much money I'm going to make it, just say, we're in Broward, let me see in places, what is the zip code that has the highest additional revenue? I had the 33330. I don't even know whether that zip code is. I'm gonna check on that. Why is that zip code so hot? I have no idea. But what is in the mix is a low regular rental and a higher, oh, I know why it's hot. It's close to the casino. So who knew? Everything close to the casino, you're likely to make a lot of money. If you have the right house, if you have the right apartment, because I bet these Airbnbs, everything that you see in red, those are Airbnbs. So this house is making $6,613, where the median regular rental is $2,378. But I bet you those houses are really fixed in a way that you actually pay $239 a night. Okay, this is a 5-bedroom house. Up to 8 guests, have 5 bedrooms, 3 baths. And is close to the casino. That's what's going on here. This house, $422 a day. It brings $11,938 a month in an area that the regular rental is $2,400. So, you know, one of the things I learned over the years is I have executives everywhere that I show any of this data, and you should be, okay? And
Francisco, just so I know we're doing a lot of Broward, I am getting in the chat. Don't forget to do some examples of Dade County too. When it like
not only that, when the moment comes, I'm going to ask people to give me zip codes so I can go and actually check the zip codes that they want.
Yeah, because you know what, my Dade County.
Not only that, the system is capable to actually pick an address and do analysis between half a mile of any address and any type of property in the US. If you want to analyze a specific property, you can do it through the system. But
got it.
One of the things that I want to show, and is really important here, is most people don't realize that this is not only a business that is, you know, a decent revenue. This is a big business. And when I say a big business, I'm going to give you numbers for that. One of the features of the system have, and I'm going to go back to Florida, to the whole state. And one of the things that we actually can show you here is how much potential money a house is making. And you're gonna be able to see here if this is a really good business or not. It's a business, not only that it's a good business, but it's a business that you can grow. I want to show you in the host side. In the host side, what we're showing you here is, okay, we have this host, is called Real Joy. They have 738 properties. The total monthly revenue is $4,294. The median rental cost calculated by the system is $1.2 million. They have a potential additional revenue of $3,091,000. That's what the system calculated. So this is a monthly revenue, guys. I'm not saying that Real Joy, which is a host, is making $3.1 million, because he might be a property manager. But you have a better idea of how much money this industry generates. Here is another one. It has 688 listings, $2.6 million, and $1.2 million in costs is $1.5 million in revenue. We have another one, Room Peaks by Victoria, $5 million in revenue. Why is she making so much money? This is making 2.6, this is making 5.6. Why? You know, she have higher revenue properties than the other guy, as you can see here. This is not, it's not I can give you proof property by property how much money this person is making. I can give you by actually by every single one of property how much additional money is making compared with regular rentals, property by property. And this is one of the things that you actually can see how much money, if you decided to go into this business, and this business only you can make. One of the other things is, see Panhandle here? That it sounds familiar. 541 properties in the Panhandle. $2.6 million, $1.7 million in potential additional revenue. And you're going to see things like this. Bacasa, Florida, 538. Bacasa, Florida, 526. Bacasa, Florida, 488, 470, 448, 386, 352. So this conglomerate is actually have probably 2,000, 2,500 properties, but they have different accounts. Okay, so you have an understanding of how this can work for you. But we can see the same thing if we go to Broward. And you can see who had a lot of properties in Broward. Let me check by host. Who's making money in Broward? Ricardo has 133 properties. Jarden has 110 properties. Stoyan has 96 properties. So you can see here who is making money. One of the things that you can actually do with this filter here is you might be thinking, okay, but I have 10 properties and I don't really want to get into this business. It's too much for me. And you might be right. This business is not for everyone. Okay, but what is that you can do? You can actually pick a host and for how much money is making, actually give them your properties. They will usually charge between 20 and 25% of the revenue of the property, but if you can make 100%, that 25% is going to pay for itself. And you can actually pick the areas that are best for you and give it to these guys that you know already are making money and you know that already have highest occupancy levels and the highest revenue. So this host thing is really, 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 really important. Now, one of the other things that I want you guys to see is, remember at the beginning of the presentation, I told you this industry was not really hurt during the pandemic, which was amazing to me. But I'm going to show you why specifically. One of the things that most people don't know is the shorter rental business. You guys might think that, okay, because it's a hotel or kind of a hotel, the people that stay there actually is they're tourists, which is a very good assumption. Okay, but where are those tourists are coming from? That's the key. If you think that it's international, it have a component of international tourists. But what you don't know is not only the biggest is national, but usually the biggest is either the same area or a neighbor area of where you are located. I'm going to show it to you in numbers. Let's say, again, instead of going to Broward, let's go to Miami-Dade. And let's do that test in Miami-Dade. What we're going to see next is the origin of your guest or the potential guest of your business. If you go to guest origins here, you're going to see New York. Actually, New York as a state is the area where you're going to have the most of your clients in South Florida, actually in Miami-Dade. But see, who is the second one? The second one is Miami. As you can see, New York, this is city, this is a city, this is a state. So you can add these two. You see, 6,000 is the amount of New Yorkers that are actually using Airbnb right now in South Florida. But you can see LA, Philadelphia, Atlanta, Chicago, New York. Now, if we want to see by country, United States in South Florida is the first one with almost all the market, 53,000. 53,000, and Canada is 1,384. So most people think that this business is dependable of, bringing people from outside the country. They will be very wrong. Actually, we can see again, if you go to the location area here, you're going to see the Miami is actually the third that is very high in the mix. Not only that, you see Orlando, Tampa. This is from the same state that you're going to be seeing that. So where the guests are coming from is very important, because nowadays, precisely, you're not going to be expecting clients from Europe. Okay, but why is the business good? Because most clients, even, they're still in Miami. And why is that? I live in the west part of Broward. But if I want to spend a week on the beach, I'd rather have an Airbnb. We're a family of 5. I'm not going to a hotel. I'd rather rent an apartment. A 2-2 apartment, I will pay $200. It's going to be a $1,400 a week, and I'm going to be close to the ocean. Okay? That's me. And that's what people that rent in these properties think. So you don't need international, not even out of states. You have a lot of market here in South Florida. And now, Anish, one of the things that I'm going to do right now, guys, is Q&A. When I say Q&A, ask me whatever doubts you have. I know there's a lot today because this system is extensive, but it's very revealing in the business. If you want to check in a specific area, give it to me and we check on that.
Okay, Francisco, I'm going to ask you the questions in the Q&A. So I know some of you guys are already REFX members. So Caitlin's asking, what software subscription level is this information included in? Is it accessible with a basic subscription?
It's accessible since, as I remember, since professional.
Okay, so it's the middle level.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
you don't need to be dialer to get into this one. By the way, you can get this software by itself, or if you have REFX, you have access to it too. So it's a huge bonus for you guys.
And Francis, we might as well just touch on it anyway. First of all, if you're in real estate investing, I mean, obviously we have the full version with the dialer and skip trace and all the other good stuff. And we have an event coming up at the end of May where he's going to show you some super new cool stuff that he showed in our past boot camp about violations, which would be pretty awesome too. What is the price if you just wanted the Airbnb feature?
The Airbnb feature is $79 the state or $99 the country.
Okay.
That's only for the B&B service. If you want only that.
And they just use the BRIA code for that?
They can use the BRIA code for that.
Yep, to get the discount. So
yes.
79 for the state, 99 for the whole country.
Correct.
So thank you. How about, let's see, I know Metropolitan, you're asking, how about Dade County areas? So we're, obviously he's going to show you, like he was showing you some of the Dade County. Let's see,
if you guys have specifics, like I want to know a specific zip code, I'd be happy doing for you.
Yep. Yep, I'll go
That's
ahead and get
something
one
that
for
I,
you.
that I actually do for some of the people. If any of you guys have an address that want to check specifically, because you
We could do
own
that
it,
too.
or because you want to check it, I can certainly do it.
Yep. So let's go kind of couple the, they're asking, are the numbers being taken directly from Airbnb? Like, how are you getting your data?
The answer is yes. We update the Airbnb data daily. Not only that, what is new, we actually have VRBO. We just haven't been able to put it here yet. But the VRBO data or Vervo is already in. I don't see major changes in the numbers when we add the Vervo data, but because, you know, people ask for it, again, we're working to putting it in. So it's probably going to be about 3 weeks since once we have not only Airbnb, but Vervo also in the system. By the way, one of the corrections I want to do to you guys, yes, the data is available all over the United States, but it's actually available all over the world. This is a worldwide system. You can check how much money you can make in France, or how much money you can make in Spain, or how much money you can make in Japan.
Francisco,
It's something
so like
you can do all over the world.
So just so that we're clear, so it's $79 if you're only looking for the state of Florida. It's $99. They'll pretty much have world access.
No, it's $99 for the United States.
United States, okay.
United States. I don't have a worldwide.
Not yet. Not yet.
No, I don't sell it. Usually, if you go to, let's say, I want Costa Rica. Costa Rica is going to be cheaper than the US. It's going to be something like $40 or $39. And you can keep adding countries that are your interest, okay? But at the moment, I don't have a worldwide subscription.
Okay.
But
absolutely.
If you are interested, give me a call. We negotiate something.
I know someone's asking how to rent an apartment to list on Airbnb. So that's more Airbnb. So what, you know, ReaFax is going to show you how you could convert. You might have existing, you know, properties. I put a poll up earlier, and it looked like only 10% of you guys that are landlords are actually using Airbnb. So what this is really showing you is the possible revenue that you're missing out. Again, like what Francisco is saying, right, is that Airbnb is not for everybody. You know, so there are specific management companies that do take care of Airbnb clients. Normal management companies are usually 10%. Airbnb is usually 20 to 25%. That's what the industry average. But if you start doing your numbers, you might see that it still makes you more money, right? Is number one. If you also have, I've seen a lot of our members do this too, is that just like, you know, Francisco lives on the west side or like Pembroke Pines area, you know, maybe he buys a home, right, closer to the beach. And when he's not using it, he Airbnbs it, right? So basically the revenue he makes, you know, throughout the year, hey, let's say he blocks off 2 weekends or whatever he wants. He could do that. And it's a way to actually mitigate cost. Again, the same thing is like, especially if you're using true leverage financing with rates being so low, it's like a win-win, and you could really explode on your cash on cash kind of stuff. So I think that's pretty important too.
Yeah, but I might add, Anish, and this is very revealing in this pie chart that you can see here. 69% of the listings in Miami-Dade County are multi-listing hosts. So what does that tell you? That actually 70% of the pie is for people that are doing this as a business. You have one property, probably it's your own property that you are, you know, having into an Airbnb with your own account. 31% only have only one property. The rest are in the business. 69% of properties are which is 8,781 listings, are concentrated in multi-listing hosts. Only 3,871 are concentrated in single listing hosts. And you can see that change between areas, okay? And that tells you that more people are using this like a stream that they see or they perceive this as a business instead of like, I'm gonna have my own property put out there, okay? So this is something that I will always wanna see.
Absolutely. Couple more questions. Let's see. Stephen was asking, certain areas like mentioned the casinos where the money's made, just because it's more populated and let's say have points of interest, are they able to produce way over double? So what basically, again, I mean, I'm not a big casino guy because I hate losing, but a lot of people. There's a lot of people, and kind of the perfect example what Francisco used is, hey, you go with 2 or 3 or 4 friends, and I've used Airbnb in different locations. It is usually cheaper on the Airbnb versus the hotel. Plus, you have a living room, you can hang out. So if it is a point of interest in general, right? Like, more people they want to be closer to it. You saw the numbers when he did Pembroke Pines. The numbers were definitely different than versus the East Side. And I think that, and again, by the casinos, I bet by the Hard Rock, I bet those numbers are pretty big also too. So.
And you need to be careful in this too. When you see these big profits and big differentials, you need to be aware of this. And let's talk about the casino area. I bet you that for $400 a night in a 5-bedroom property, it is pretty high. So I'll tell you, this property is really, really, really made for the people that is actually going to the casino. So it have all the facilities, is top notch, everything looks really pretty. And not only that, they always go the extra mile. Okay, so these are people, okay, they have a very, let's say that they're in a residential area where it's $2,500, but the property is not only pristine, usually those properties are thin, that you have a special decoration inside the property. They usually go the extra mile. So when you go and see these high-end earnings, you better check the properties that are around you, because you need to match those type of decoration and those type of arrangements in order to make the same kind of money. Okay?
I mean,
because not all properties are created equal.
Yeah. So, I mean, what I like Francisco is really kind of recapping is that if I was, let's say I'm from New York, right? And I'm looking, we saw all these New Yorkers, come down here, and I'm looking in the Miami area, and I'm looking specifically, North Miami Beach, and I'm looking at houses, they're going to look at all the listings, within a certain area. So if you're, if some of these, houses, especially these high-end stuff, is like, they have different kind of themes. Like we've seen, I've seen one that was a Star Wars theme. Okay, got it. That's a little specific. Anything. Yeah, and you'll see different themes. So just remember, even though he's, the data is being pulled, you want to make sure what your competition's doing. So it's apples and apples when they're looking at your listing versus someone else's listing. So even though the data is fantastic, it's just one of those like best practices is what Francisco's actually talking about.
Exactly. You need to check what you have around you.
Absolutely. And are there any restrictions in Miami-Dade or Broward for Airbnb? It depends. Yeah, there are.
Yes, there is.
What you want to check with your city, or there might be a permit, whatever you need to do. I know Miami Beach got in a lot of trouble, like on South Beach. People were just renting and there were fines and all that other stuff. So just make sure it's worth, especially if you're going to run it like a business, and you're thinking to add, you know, a couple properties, what I would suggest, just do it the right way in the beginning. It's going to save a lot of headache.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna say this the way that I always say to people that there are too many properties you can do it legally that where you actually taking the risk to do it where the property is illegal.
Yeah.
So do it where you needed to do it. Do it in an area that is legal. And I'm going to give you a tip, guys, right here. If you go either in Miami or Broward, in unincorporated Miami-Dade or Broward, that you can actually do Airbnb in Miami-Dade and Broward, in unincorporated areas. If the city of Miami Beach, there are certain restrictions that you need to look at. I'm not going to mention that in this webinar, but in the city of Miami Beach, yes, you can do it.
Absolutely. And just to kind of piggyback on that, so I have a very good friend, Ryan and I have a friend, they actually own an 8-unit building in Wilton Manor, and she converted it from yearly rentals to exactly Airbnb, and her income has gone up over 300%. So I know I saw it on that last one of the things that you're showing. Wilton Manor was number 3, and she literally got the license with the state, or the state with this county, I should say, the city, and it's a legal, you know, Airbnb. So I just think it's, you know, if you're going to do something, do it the right way, obviously. Let's see, I have some people about, we got some zip codes. So you want to,
okay, let's play with that.
Yeah, let's try 33180.
Okay. That's
Not sure where that is.
Okay, my advice to you guys is not only put the zip code, but put the type of property, bedrooms and bathrooms. You have a better idea of what are you gonna get. Okay, I'm gonna go to 33180, and this is what you're gonna see in that area. This is Aventura, good area. I don't have to check that much. But even though let's see what the revenue is. This is always very interesting. See, the additional revenue is not that great, 63%. But let's check which is the best type of property to have in that area. Best rentals. 4-bedroom apartments are a killer.
Yeah, look at
that. 4-bedroom houses are really good also. When you see numbers like 816% house studios, you know, normally when there is not a lot of information, you can have peaks like that. So you have 2 properties that are house studios. Those are normally efficiencies. You're not going to be seeing numbers that are actually real. But in the areas you can see, I will see 4-bedroom apartments and 4-bedroom houses is where the money is. So any other properties there, I will pass if I'm doing business in the area, particularly.
Absolutely. Can we do another one? I'm going to give you 33132. And guys, I know you guys put a ton of zip codes. Obviously, we can't get through all of them. So I'm just picking some random ones. So don't take it personal if I don't pick your zip code.
Okay. It's a lot of money here to make. Dodge Island. There is a lot of listings here, guys, as you can see. Okay, let me see. Okay, it's 73% additional revenue. Let's see which is the best rental here. 4-bedroom apartment, 4-bedroom houses.
Yeah.
Let me just do a quick refreshing here. Best rentals. Actually here, the
Yeah,
best one
3 bedroom.
is 2-bedroom houses. And studio apartments are good in this area. As you can see, everything is close to the coast, as you can see. One of the things that you can see in the system is the green ones are regular rentals and the red ones are Airbnb. Once we have VRBO, Virvo is going to be in a different color, and the ones that are actually in Airbnb and Virvo is going to have a different color too. So you can make the distinction. You can see B&B, that's off. That are in red. This is only regular rentals. And if you want only the Airbnbs, you put it on. And here are only the Airbnbs. See here?
Yeah. Wow. Look at that.
A lot of them there.
Yeah, that's all like a Midtown, Wynwood.
Yeah, if you have, usually this is the apartment studios is big in here, most probably. You can see it here. 1 room studio, 2 rooms, 3 rooms, 4 rooms. Mostly are 1-room apartments. Any Cisco, any other one, Anish?
What? How about 33328?
It's not a very popular Airbnb area, but that doesn't mean anything. Actually, it's giving me negative numbers. Okay, but again, let's check the best rentals. Houses, 2-bedroom houses are doing great in here.
Yeah.
Single apartments are doing great in here. So see, even in an area that the numbers are giving me a negative area, you can see that depends on the type of property you have, you're going to have different numbers.
Yeah, I think it's important that like you have to like dive into it, right? Don't just do the quick search, because I would have, like, if I just did that quick search, I'd say, oh, negative 44 revenue, right?
Exactly.
And I would have just passed on, oh, this is a terrible place.
And as you can see, this area here, Treetop Park, I know this area, this Cooper City. This is a very residential area.
Yeah.
Very, very residential, but you have a 2-bedroom house here that is making 188%. So yes, there is way to make money there.
Absolutely. And like, so what this really does, right? The software, the way I tell people, it takes the emotion out of it, right? You're looking really at data. It's not I hate to, Brian and I are realtors, so we're never picking
Some
up
people
realtors,
want their property to perform good, but when they go check, the case is the different thing.
Yeah, and because especially if you're new to it, like I would say, oh yeah, this is a great area, Airbnb. But if you don't know what's actually happening, what the competition's doing, right? So this, extra research up front, it is going to make a difference in your revenue. And now you actually have the data to actually compare different areas, right? Maybe you're looking at 2 houses or 2 properties, right? You're looking maybe one in, let's say by Cooper City, or, you're looking at, the place closer to, east of 95 or Fort Lauderdale. And now you could decide differently just based on your numbers. Like, hey, I think it's going to be easier with this. You could see, what season, right? What months are busy. Also, that for rentals. So like same thing.
I'm sorry, Anisha.
Yeah, no, I was just saying, like, for me, like, I always think December, January, like, oh, it must be out of towners. And then you just showed earlier that April may kill it. I would have never known that, right? So maybe I want to have family come down and visit. December, January, I realized those are lower rates or not as full. I get to use that, right? house or apartment or whatever for the property. And then I'll make up my money in April and May. So I think that's, the idea that what you may think versus what's really happening, it might differ.
One of the ways that many of our clients are actually making money in this industry is they actually rent the property. They don't buy the property, they rent the property. They have a special clause in the rental agreement. They only do it where they can actually do Airbnbs, which is, of course, a must. And they actually are making the difference between the regular rental and the Airbnb. So these guys, one of the things that I always tell them, and they actually do it very well, when are you going to get into a new property?
Right.
You're going to get into a new property before the highest season. Okay?
Exactly.
Meaning, if you need to get into the new property, prepare the property, give you enough time to actually start booking things. I will do it between the month of October or November if you are in Broward County, because you know that December, January, February, March, and April are going to be high-end months. So you're going to be recovering all your money really quick. Whatever that investment was, deposit, furniture, setup of the house, if you are able to make this calculation to make money the first year, which most people following this number do, then if you have a second year, it's going to magnify your profit because you already made the expense of the furniture if you need it, and you made the expense of the setup of the house, and those things are really important if you are pursuing this as a business. One of the other things that you can actually do here is it allows you to see the future a little bit. And when I say a little bit, it allows you to see what's coming in the next months. The next months are, okay, May, June, and July. Right now, May, June, and July are sold over 44% now. So those numbers are really good right now. And August is sold in 26%. This number in the next month is going to increase. Why? Because already people is doing reservation for August. So it gives you kind of like a peek to the future. I mean, you want to see it more evidently, you go to what we call the seasonality. In the seasonality, it's like the X-ray of what is happening in that area. See, August is where you're going to make a lot of money. Or you see in dark green, you're going to be having 79% occupancy or more. If you see December, since the 24th to the 31st, that week, there is people that make in this week 3 months worth of rent, only in this week, and including January 1st. So we're talking about 7, 8, 9 days. They making 9 days, probably the amount of money of they will get in 3 months of rent. Yeah. Which months are also good? March. Remember we talked about March sales numbers in March? The 8th was 74%, almost 75. So all these 1, 2, almost 10 days in March were very, 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 very good. August, 14 days of August are excellent. And then you can see one compared to the other. This is last 24 months data. You go here, this is the next 6 months. So you have a better idea how those months are going to be feeling. August, It's still too early to call. October, wow, there is something in October here I don't know yet.
Yeah.
This is going crazy. I don't know if the Mark Anthony concert or something.
And actually, what I'm going to add to that is, especially if you're local, we have a lot of events down here. So I know, like, Broward, sometimes they have the Tortuga Festival. So if you are doing Airbnb, you kind of want to keep track of it, because you're probably leaving a lot of money on the table. The Food and Wine Festival. It could be, some of the other big events that we do in South Florida. So, like, you might make a killing exactly on that week, and this could help plan that for you. And there's another example of exactly what Francisco's talking about. I have a friend in Milwaukee. She owns an event center, and there's no 3 bedrooms near there. So she actually rents 3 apartments that are 3 bedrooms near her event center. So whenever, people come for weddings on that, she could offer the Airbnb. And again,
not only that, I mean, close to hospitals.
Absolutely.
Close to hospital, that's a very, very good investment. Why? Because, people that have family in the hospital, they don't want to stay in a hotel. They might want to stay in a place that they can cook. Okay. Yeah. So all these areas that are hospital closed are very good for the business. You might don't know why is this area so good. Like when I was checking the casino area, I didn't know it was the casino until I went there. Oh, this is where the casino is.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, like, really today is the idea is to get the guessing out of it, right? If you're actually building a business, and, you still have to put some cost or make calculated decisions. For $79 a month, are you not going to do this? You're ready. Or 99 a month, for the country if you're picking other areas.
Or free if you have ReFX. So
yeah, or if you have ReFX, at least the middle version. So I think that's some of the things that the tools, and he's had this feature for a while. This is actually the first Airbnb one we're really doing with you. Again, we're only showing you 5-10% of what ReFX does. But this is one of the reasons why. I'll tell you on our side that Ryan and I look at this data, and where it says the host will contact some of those super hosts in the area that we're selling the houses for. And we're actually getting over market value because they're running a business out of it.
There you go.
So
that's actually
that alone versus, PropStream, all the other stuff out there, it's worth it. It's like gold. So you want to make sure, if you are a ReFX user and you're at least the middle level or above, you're going to want to take a peek at this, because you're kind of missing out.
Okay, guys. Do we have time to take a few more questions, Anish?
Yeah, we got about 5 more minutes or 10 more minutes. Let me see. Let's see. Stephanie's asking, how's the agreement made with the owner to rent the property and use it as Airbnb? So that's something different. That's not really a software kind of question. You could have an attorney write it up. There's different contracts you could use, but you do want to. What I am going to tell you is, you do want to let the owner know that you're gonna be Airbnb in the property.
You have to be a straight shooter.
Do not hide it. Yeah, do not hide it and say, oh, I'm renting it out for the year. And and then all of a sudden you're Airbnb in it. The neighbors, especially if you're in a residential area, they're gonna have some issues with that. So I think that's always important. Let's see.
There are homeowners that care. There are homeowners that they do not care. Okay.
Yeah.
And you have to make your case in the area. And one of the things is you need to. Now, this is I always talk to people that are in the industry, and you just know. Okay, if you're renting the property, a house, a 25-year-old for Friday, and you're charging like $500, it's going to make a party there. Just be sure about that. Okay. This is something that you should know. Now, is that what you want? Do you want to have one good day and then you're going to have a problem for the rest of the time? No, you can still rent to someone that has a family and want to stay in the house. Okay.
Yeah.
So those are the kind of decisions that you need to be smart about it. I won't rent to anyone. In Airbnb, you can see how the people look like, what's the age of the one that is renting. Is it renting for a day? Is it renting for 2 days? Is it renting for a week? That's something that you have to be aware of. And cameras it has to be always in the mix. And remember, outside camera only, guys. So make sure that everything on your premises are functioning the way that it should be. That is, if you see a party forming up and that specific property is not designed to hold parties, because there are properties that are designed to hold parties and they're allowed and you encourage it, but that's part also of your price. But if your house is not designed to have a party in, then you can actually make a really quick call to the guests and tell them you need to stop that right now, or are going to send the police, and you're gonna be out of the house in the same moment.
Yeah. So I mean, some best practices, exactly what Francisco's talking about, is cameras outside. There's actually, you could have a noise meter too. So I know one of our students, actually Antonio, on his Airbnb, he actually had a noise meter. So you could tell if it's going to get loud with the cameras. The other thing is, if they say there's 2 guests and all of a sudden there's 5, you could actually see it on camera. So you could charge them extra fees per guest. Those are some best practices. I know the townhouse he specifically had that he was Airbnb, the rentals were usually $1,300 was a general rental. And what he did was, this was actually Miami Lakes. There's some banks, there's companies out there, and he did a minimum rental of 30 days. So
yes.
Guess what? He got $2,500 a month. The guy was there for 3 months, and then his company extended his work, and he wound up staying there for 6 months. So
he's getting double rent.
Yeah, not only doubled rent, but like it kind of gets, I hate to say it, the drifters, the 2 days, 3 days, the minimum nights, that could change also. Later in the year, we are going to have a national speaker that's going to actually talk about some of the good things about Airbnb and tips. But today is really, the idea is, what are you using, right? If you're thinking about getting into the business and you're just saying, hey, this is a great, usually this is what happens. I can tell you for me, oh yeah, this area looks great. We should Airbnb it. It just seems super popular, right? I live right off of Los Olas. I'm just going to Airbnb it. But to actually have the information, it's amazing. So now you're making calculated assumptions. Again, it's a new business for a lot of you guys. It's also a business, right? You still want to have the right insurance, the right pieces, but now you could really see how much people make, right? There's no guessing. I think that's what's important. And also the type of properties and the area also.
The guessing is out of the questions. Now it's a different thing. This area can be good for an Airbnb, but you don't know. You don't know the type of property. You don't know where is your seasonality. You don't know when you should start an Airbnb in any given area. You don't have the numbers. So my advice is, get the information.
Yep. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you my email. Also, I'm going to put it in the chat. If you are not signed up with ReaFax and you want to sign up with ReaFax, you could email me directly, or you could go to reafax.com. Actually, since we had a couple minutes, can we just go to reafax.com?
Yeah,
so we could kind of show them how they could sign up also, so you don't have to email me. But I don't mind. And if you got specific questions, on, you know, what we use, and
you can
full
go to
disclosure.
RiaFax and use the promo code BRIA, and you're gonna get a cheaper subscription. That's the way that you're gonna have a rebate on your subscription. And you go to the pricing area here.
And you don't have to be a member of BRIA to get this.
No.
So you should be, we should make them, but you don't have to be.
By the way, you should be members of BRIA. You know, it's worth the money. Let's say this is our highest product. If you use the promo code BRIA and you confirm, as you can see, the price is significantly down, like $750 less if you go to for the annual subscription. Or you can pick any of the subscription here. You're also going to get a rebate in any of them. If you want the Airbnb feature, you should be going to since the professional product on. Okay.
Yeah. So
that's the deal.
Yeah. If you're in the platinum, you're not going to have the Airbnb feature, guys. If you're minimum the professional, you'll have the Airbnb feature and many functions with the CR management and, you know, the follow-up system in the professional. Ryan and I, you know, we've, as said, you know, Ryan mentioned, we made millions of dollars on this. Of course, we got the dialer. It's got skip traceability also. The other thing that we kind of just touched a little bit in our next webinar next month, we're going to talk about the open violations. It's a brand new feature that you could actually find violations in Dade and Broward County. If you're looking for houses with water damage, and Palm Beach, if you're looking for, you know, roof damage, Ryan and I have made a killing on these kind of deals or liens and that kind of stuff. So again, we know there's
it's almost not fair, man.
Yeah.
You can search by, okay, give me all the roof damaged properties that have actually open violations right now.
I mean, it's pretty crazy what it does. So that's why we've convinced, you know, Francisco to do more workshops with us on specific, you know, things that RiaFax does. Otherwise, we'd have a 7-day boot camp of RiaFax. You're going to want to kill yourself because it's going to be an overload of information, you know. So we want to give you pieces of some of the things that we're using here at BRIA. And depending on what you're looking in your own investment business, maybe you're just an Airbnb guy. Hey, maybe I'll just use that portion. Maybe you're, you know, wholesaling and rehabbing or a combination. You could do all that stuff too. So
maybe you use the Airbnb part only for leverage to resell your property. That's valid.
Absolutely. And the other thing is, if you do the yearly, besides with our BRIA code, you actually get 2 months free. Or you're not sure, right? You don't want to make the commitment yet, and you want to do the monthly, you could do the monthly. There are no contracts. You still get a discount on it. So after a month or 2 months, you're not, you know, you don't feel the software is good, you know, good for you, or you're not using it. You know, you could cancel. So there's no cancellation charges. I will let you know, Francisco's a pretty smart guy, meaning if you're subscribed and they don't see you log in, right, for a little bit, you might get a call.
We're gonna call you to train you guys.
Say, hey, what's going on here?
We wanna try to make you use the system and learn it, because we know that you learn it, you're not going anywhere else. So we wanna go the extra mile and teach you the system. And we're gonna persist until you learn it. Because if you learn the system, you're gonna be a client for many years. And that's the kind of commitment that we're looking for.
Yep. And the other thing versus the other software out there, it's unlimited searches. So he's not counting how, it's not like 100 Airbnb searches. You know, so that was something I've seen software out there where you can only do a certain amount of searches. So just be careful if you're using those other softwares. And also RiaFax, you know, is in 4 states, right? Maryland, New Jersey, California, and Florida. and Texas.
Yes, and right now we at Massachusetts actually.
Okay, you in Massachusetts. It's official?
It's
Okay, so
official.
you're in 5 states. So that's something that you may.
We're looking to, right now we're looking into Arizona and Georgia. Let's see when's that gonna be up. I know you like Arizona and Georgia, Anish.
Absolutely. There's some good deals out there.
Let's get you some students over there.
Absolutely. And also, I know some of you guys, we put it earlier, if you're interested in our 2-day boot camp, briabootcamp.com is our link for that. Ryan and I give you a money back guarantee if you're not happy. It's 2 full days with us, learning A to Z how to flip houses. We do have a coaching program. We put it in the chat earlier where Ryan and I put up 100% of the money for the deals, and we go 50-50. Some of the searches that we even did, even with Francisco last time, there's well over 5,000 to 7,000 people in pre-foreclosure in each county, each of the 3 counties down here. All that means is a lot of opportunity. So if you have more interest on that, let us know. If you're not a member of BRIA, next week, actually, we have our member benefits program, seminar, I should say, where we're going to show you how basically Ryan and I are paying you to become a member. So if you're using those benefits, it's free, and we're going to kind of dive into it. If you're already a member, you're not using everything, you're going to say, oh crap, why not? And if you are not a member, you're going to say, crap, why am I not a member? And one of the other things for you new investors, we always have a lot of new investors out there. If you need some credibility and you're actually a member of Miami-Dade BRIA or BRIA, you could actually put that on your business card, right? So if anyone ever calls, we can verify that for you too. So on that portion, Francisco, I think you're screen sharing if you want to just kill your screen for a sec. Okay. Perfect. And so thank you, Francisco, for again joining us, teaching us always, and more importantly, making us money.
It's always nice being here. Thank you for the invitation. I wish you guys